Hi, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Donna Norris, Soul Level Intuitive. I serve animals, as you know, and humans as well. So I'm really glad that y'all are here tonight. Thank you for coming to join me. If you're new, please hit like and subscribe. I'm really trying to grow this channel and taking the baby steps to learn logistics and technical stuff. And oh my God, I had no idea a YouTube channel was this much stuff to learn. But anyway, it's been fun, and getting to know all of you has been great. I'm also working on some other stuff. Some of you may know Susan Lynn, and I'll be appearing at her conference in Denver next month, and I'm talking about spirit animals and totem animals. And oh my gosh, it's like I love them, and they've always been a part of my life and the tapestry of my guide team. But I'm having a hard time figuring out, like, where do I start? Do people know the difference between spirit animals and totem animals? So I've been kind of working on that today. So just to kind of give you all an idea. Oh, and there's an extra dog in the house, so there may be a little bit of extra bark here and there. My poodle, my phantom poodle Bogey, has a daughter who lives here nearby, and I'm dog sitting for her. So she's solid black, and Bogey's a black and tan. But the old guy, he's sitting right here under my chair. They all like to be close when readings are happening. So anyway, thank you for allowing all that, and be prepared. You may hear a little bit of something in the background, and we'll go ahead and get started. So if you have any questions or any input on the spirit animal versus totem animal, and do you know the difference kind of thing, I'm happy to hear about that too. But for right now, we'll go ahead and get started with doing some readings. So the first one in the chat was from Darren Starr, and it's about her deceased cat, female named Kay. Was she more than a regular cat? You would leave her in the house and go for a walk and would see her peek at you around a bush. Many other odd things, plus many other odd things. Thanks. Let me just see if I can bring her in. She is coming in, and she's got this sort of regal, like lioness kind of walk to her. And she has definitely been around for many times, in more than one lifetime. Yeah, she's a cat that's been doing this round and round for a while. She may have actually, what she's showing me is that she has done this dance with you in more than one lifetime. So only once in this lifetime, but also in past life, at least one past life, she's done this life with you. So what she's pointing out to me is that she was pointing out to you when she was here. She was definitely your familiar. And when you talk about that, someone, a cat or an animal being someone's familiar, it's about that person who's here to help you awaken to your abilities, and they're really dialed into you. They a lot of times will mirror your moods. But what she was there to do is to help teach you and bring your intuitive abilities to the forefront. So, like, if you think you saw her out of the corner of your eye after she crossed over, you really did. She's still trying to work with you from the other side. And what she's asking me is that, are you aware that she's still wanting to work with you? Have you tried to, like, ask her to come to you in your dreams? Because she can and she will. But she definitely was able to project. Cats especially are really good at walking between the realms, and they can move their energy. Like when we come into body, not 100% of our soul comes into this body that we inhabit. Some of it's left back at home, and it works the same way for animals. Some of it's left back at home in the astral realm, the spirit realm, where we all come from. And so it's not hard for her to have a part of that soul, appear to you in the bush, to kind of like ignite and hopefully spark your thought that this is really special. Not everybody can do this. Maybe this is something that I could pursue. Darren Star, I don't know if you've ever considered, getting into doing, psychic work or animal mediumship. I call it soul level animal communication because it encompasses both. I've also got to see if I can find anything from you down here in the chat. I am not getting a response. But anyway, this is what she's bringing forward for you, is to come on and keep working with her. Just because she's on the other side doesn't mean that she's not still there and ready to work with you. So I hope that you can receive that, and that answers your question. Hi, Emma Q. Hi, Janice. Hi, Michelle. Michelle has a question. Michelle Flores says, is my deceased yellow lab Bo mad at me for how he left this earth? And is he safe and happy on the other side? Let's pull Bo in. I had a yellow lab too. She was a female. Well, actually, I had two, one named Daisy and one named Nina. I've had a lot of labs. Oh my God, they're such great animals. So when Bo comes in, he's showing me, just so you know, this is my life. And he's bounding around, and he's bounding around through like almost looks like a national park, or some kind of big nature space where there's trails, but you can go off the trail, and he's rooting under things, and he's also coming back and there's water, and he's able to like prance around the water. For some reason, he's not jumping in the water and swimming. A lot of labs do like to do that, but he's just like prancing around the water's edge and splashing and having a great time. So let me see what he has to say in response to your question. So what Bo is showing me, first of all, is, this blessing and the namaste pose kind of thing, that it's a blessing. He actually planned his passing. They do that, and a lot of times it's through illness or through untoward circumstances. And the reason that happens is that part of the reason is that their passing in itself carries a soul lesson for us when that happens, in letting go of control, and letting go of knowing when we have to make the right decision for the animal as opposed to what we would prefer to have happen for ourselves. None of us is ever ready to let go of an animal, or certainly to lose one to cross over the other side. But he's saying that there's nothing to forgive. And he's really excited to show you what his version of heaven looks like. He's just running around like crazy and having a great time exploring. Lots and lots of stuff to smell. And he can run. I don't know if he had any mobilities, but he's like running here to there. So, Michelle, if you're still here, if you want to type in a reply and let me know if any of that makes sense for you. And also, is Bo still with me in the day-to-day? It's kind of like what I had said to Darren Star earlier. It's like, if you ask for them to be there with you in the day-to-day, they obviously want to come and join. They will come and join. They've got plenty to do in heaven on the other side. I call it heaven just because that's kind of like the common name, but it's where home is in the spiritual realm, right? And time doesn't pass the same way over there like it does here. There's really not any kind of sense of linear time. So he's having a great time. He's happy and content. When you get there, you'll be able to reconnect with him. But in the meantime, all you have to do is think of him and call him to you, and he'll be able to come to you. You can, like I said, you can ask for him to come in your dreams. I'm actually doing an animal communication workshop on October 5th and 6th. It's the basics of animal communication. If you want to look at my website, in the events column of my website at donnanorris.net, you might want to sign up for that workshop. It's 2 hours on Saturday with a bonus hour of practice on Sunday, so that once you get the skills, you can practice doing readings for other people. And integrating the skills and trying to get more confidence up with what you learned on Saturday. So there is a way to learn to do this work. You know, you can do animal communication work with your deceased pets and with your living pets. And that's what the basic workshop is about, to kind of give you the basic skills to be able to make contact and know when they're there so that you can interact. Okay, I hope that helps. Let's see. He had an unexpected illness. Running makes sense. His passing was hard. Yeah. Well, the more we love them, obviously, the harder it is. But hang on just one second before he leaves my field. He's showing me how big his love is for you, and that your love for him was equally big, and that it would be really honoring for him to pass that love to another animal. I don't know if you have another animal, but he is blessing the next animal in your life as a way of carrying on and expanding that love space in your heart. Because the more love we give, the more we have to give, right? And that's what he's coming back to tell you. Thank you, Bo. And thank you, Michelle. I appreciate that. Yeah. Give it a try. I'd love to work with you. Hopefully that animal communication workshop will work for you on those days. I'm also doing a more in-depth animal communication workshop. It's 4 weeks. It starts at the end of October on the 27th, and it runs every Sunday in the afternoon, and then on Thursdays in the evenings, in between the first 3 classes until we get to the last class, I'm doing the same thing, the same kind of practice thing, where you can get together on a Thursday evening on a Zoom call, and we'll do readings. We'll do practice readings so that you can kind of get feedback and integrate what you learn every week. And in that course, we're going to talk a little bit more about the soul level and what soul contracts are, and how we can touch an animal at the soul level and talk with their higher self, which is what soul level communication is. I think regular readings like these mini readings are more about the 3D person in a living animal. I mean, the 3D animal that we're used to dealing with every day. And then the soul level is their higher self. Excuse me one second. Somebody wants to join. This is Bogey. This is my boy. And he's had his supper, and now he wants to be in my lap. He loves readings. So y'all will probably see him a lot if you've been here before or if you come back. He's a magnet. So let's see. Let me go back. Michelle, I hope that answers your question. Thank you. Let's see what I can do here next. Hi, Angela. Hi, Jennifer. Angela says, can you check on a feral cat named Rusty from Tampa, Florida? I found him in a garage, and he's supposed to be a barn cat named Gonzo now. Thank you. Okay. Hang on one second. Well, he comes in, he's calling himself Rusty. He actually likes Rusty better. He likes that name better. And I'm hearing that you're welcome to continue to call him Rusty in your thoughts about him when you try to connect with him through your thoughts. But he actually is doing well. He gets cat food, and but he also has the opportunity to hunt and be independent, and he really enjoys doing that. So he's quite the mouser. He just showed me one in his mouth. So he's really good at what he does, apparently. So I hope that helps, Angela. Let's see. Janice says, female cat Gracie deceased. I loved her. She became sick and in pain. X-rays, tests, IVs, no diagnosis. Let her go and still feel bad that she was in such pain. We were so connected. Thank you. Janice, hang on just a moment. Let's see if we can bring in your Gracie. Okay. What I'm getting, Janice, is a kind of a light color cat. It's not it's her predominant color is a light color, but she's got just kind of a glow about her. She's really calm, and she's got these eyes, these big eyes that she's bringing in. She wants me to give you thanks. I'm feeling in my heart space a lot of swirling energy, and she's sending you so much love. She really appreciates that you made the choice to let her out of her physical body, because as she got sicker, she didn't have the ability to leave her body of her own accord, if that makes sense. And it was just to pass naturally from the affliction that she had. And I feel like it's definitely something abdominal, but because my stomach feels like hard as a rock right now and clenching. But anyway, she really appreciates that you let her go while she still had dignity. She didn't lose control of all of her functions and all that. She was still able to love you and know who you are, and is grateful. So she's fine now. She's like really calm, and I hope that helps. Really peaceful. Definitely peaceful. Thank you, Janice. Let's see. Who's next? Oh my God. Michelle says she has another yellow lab named Bear. Well, Bear has Bo's blessing. How about that? That's so cool. Okay. Jennifer has a question. Jennifer P. Donna, I'm at my wit's end. Security clearance still hasn't come in yet. When will I get the call about the job? I don't know if y'all are kind of aware of how this works. And Jennifer, I don't know if I've explained this to you, but when I'm connecting and when I'm reading the energy, I'm kind of like channeling from the guides through me to you. So perhaps I've read for you before, but afterwards I don't have a whole lot of recall. So hang on just a moment. We try to tap into your energy and get to your guides and see what they have to say. What I'm hearing is, Jennifer, that it's something to do, not necessarily to do with you or even their ability to make the choice in the hiring, but it's about corporate and like fiscal year end and not having any more money in the budget to do anything until the new fiscal year starts, if that makes sense. Some people's fiscal year starts, some companies' fiscal year starts in October, some companies' fiscal years start in January. So if that's the message that I'm getting, it's just like they're at a standstill on that end. I don't know if that's the only position that you really want, or if you've talked and pursued looking at anything else. But that's what I'm getting right now for that. I hope that works out for you. I hope that answer, while it's not probably satisfactory, I hope that helps you understand where it's coming from. Thank you, Jennifer. Okay, Anita Call. Anything from Sir Muff, a rescue Springer Spaniel. He was with us for 8 years and was maybe 12 years old when we had to put him down due to kidney failure. Is he with my other past pets? Yes, he is definitely with your other animals, and they're all having a great time. This particular heaven looks like a giant playroom, or like if you've ever been into like a place where kids take gymnastics, where there's stuff everywhere and all these different kinds of activities going on. That's kind of like what it's like. It's an indoor play yard for dogs. Yeah, he's definitely happy, and he will be there for you. Yep. He will be there for you when it's your turn, just like they will. I think I may have mentioned this earlier this evening, where time doesn't pass the same way for them as it does for us. So they'll be waiting. They'll be there for you. Come here, girlie. I've got another one the other dog's trying to climb up in my lap. This is Bogey's daughter, Nami. And I don't know where they're going to fit, but we'll try to get them all in my lap here. So, thank you, Anita. Jennifer says, yes, I have. I understand. Thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate the acknowledgement. And Michelle has a number of wonderful dogs. Yes, boxers and labs. Are any of my passed on or current dogs my animal guides? That's a really interesting thing. It kind of goes back to what I was talking about earlier and what I'm working on for this presentation. Spirit animals and power animals are born, they're assigned to us at birth, just like our guides. We have we have one core guide that is with us throughout our entire life. And it's the same with guardian angels. We have one that's assigned at birth. And so they work with us throughout our whole life. And our power animal and spirit animals are the same thing. But if you want a guide and you want to pull in a guide, you're always welcome to bring your past animals in as totem animals. And that is an animal who comes in as a guide. And so let me just see if there's anybody out there for you in your sphere up with your guides that might be an animal guide. So this may surprise you, but you have a turkey as an animal. It looks like this is an animal totem, and turkeys are all about family and reverence and group, like gatherings. So I don't know if family is really important to you, or if getting together and having family gatherings is real important for you, but turkey spirit is up there either to reinforce that is kind of part of who you are, part of your character. And if that suits you, then that may be that they're more of the spirit animal. But if not, it may be an animal totem to kind of encourage you to reach out more and develop more of a gathering, either of blood relatives or even as a love relatives. We can build our own family of love that doesn't necessarily have to be our blood relatives to be our family. So there's that turkey is there. There's also a horse. Horses are so much about strength and power and standing in your power. So I don't know if that makes sense for you, Michelle, but that's why that horse is there as well. And you have the ability, we all have this same ability too, to call in any kind of totem animal that we like. Just like we can call in specialist guides on our guide team for our human problems, or, like if you want to try to recreate your finances, then you could bring in a financial guide, to kind of help you reestablish a budget or set new financial goals or things like that. If you want to try to start like a new company or do something new, you can bring in a business person guide, to kind of help with the nuts and bolts and inspire you to kind of set up your company on the spiritual path. So that's really interesting. Thanks, Michelle. Thanks for giving me that opportunity to do that. Karen Robinson says, I have been writing a book all summer, almost done. Yes, I will call it Marilyn Quack. Marilyn Quack, can you see if it will be well received? Oh, I wonder, Karen, if you have a publisher, or if you're going to self-publish, please put that in the chat. We'd like to know if you're going to be making it available for sale on Amazon or something. I don't know, Marilyn, Karen, sorry, if your book, if Marilyn Quack is something that you can talk about, if you want to promote it, if you'll have to give a little bit more information about that, because I see you going out and talking about it to different audiences that you feel might enjoy reading it. So there's going to take a little bit of footwork on your end, but yes, it will be well received. That's exciting. I just interviewed an author the other day that just finished a book too. People have no idea how much work and blood, sweat, and tears goes into writing a book. Man, my hat's off to you. Wowza. Oh my God, Michelle says, LOL, that's hilarious. I am big on family. The horse makes sense. Thanks, Michelle. Janice is confirming that Gracie had big, beautiful eyes and was very calm, peaceful, and loving. Oh, that's awesome. She was very soulful. Illness was stomach connected. Thank you for your message. And you do talk to her. That's wonderful. Yeah. She would make a wonderful totem just for walking the spiritual path. She's very zen. Okay, Christina O. Are either of my little dogs, Poppy or Scooter, sending any messages about food or digestion? Is there anything I can do to help support them? Hi, Christina. It's good to see you. Thanks for being here. I'm going to try one at a time, okay? So Poppy is giving me kind of like doing this thing with her mouth that I'm seeing. And what I'm tasting in my mouth is like something that she doesn't particularly care for. Hang on one second. Dogs are in and out. And so it's like she would like to change a flavor. And she's also like asking for something that she can crunch. I don't know if she gets any kind of crunchy food or if she's just, on a raw food diet or what kind of diet she's on. But anyway, something that she can crunch or maybe chew on. And I'm seeing like one of those antlers. You know how they can chew on those and get the marrow out? But you can also get the kind for smaller dogs that are split down the middle so that the marrow is already exposed and it still gives them that satisfaction and a little bit of that chewing. It also helps their teeth as well to kind of help keep the tartar down. Let me try Poppy now. That was Poppy. Sorry, let me try Scooter now. So with Scooter, I'm feeling a little bit of like a nervous stomach, like I don't want to say anxiety, but it feels like his stomach is in knots, kind of like well, I guess that is anxiety when you get nervous. And I feel an element of fear behind that. I don't know if that makes sense for you. It's not that he's afraid of you. It's not that he's afraid of Poppy, but it's like whatever's going on is making him upset. But I feel like there's something maybe going on with his digestive system that that food is not sitting right with him. I hope that makes sense. Hang on, we've got some feedback here. Good to catch one of your live shows. Thanks. Makes sense. They were on a bland diet for a few weeks and we're trying to transition back to regular food. Okay, good. They do have the chews. I'll get the marrow kind. And are you seeing anything about my recent travels for work? That could be his concern. Oh, yeah, there's something about the food that, but it's also he has a little bit more separation anxiety than probably Poppy does. And so you may need to check in with him when you're traveling. And I don't know if we've talked about that before, but when any of you guys, when you travel, even if you're just going to the grocery store, you can tell your animals, I'll be back before dinner, or I'll be back before dark, or I'll be back after 2 nighttime sleeps, because happy animals sleep a lot during the day. So you have to tell them nighttime sleeps, and then after a couple of nighttime sleeps, and then you can check in with them while you're gone. And I like to call sending or like to suggest sending love bombs. And that's where you get yourself calm, in a centered space. Just takes a minute, breathe in, breathe into like your heart space, and just sort of imagine the love swirling around as your heart chakra is just spinning and spinning and spinning. And then imagine yourself, boom, sending it out like a love bomb across the cosmos from your heart to their heart, to kind of let them know, I'm thinking about you. I love you. Have fun and play today. And I'll be back in one more nighttime sleep, that kind of thing. And just check in with them energetically. They really do feel it and they really do get those messages. So I hope that helps, Christina. And next, Interplanet Janet. Yes, I do have finally caught a live show. Thank y'all so much for being here. Oh my God, this is cool. Christina says, I talk to them all the time, but I'll send love bombs. Yeah, sure can't hurt. It helps us feel better too, but it really does help them. They know that you're out there and that you're coming back when you touch base with them energetically. Let's see. Okay, Karen says, I don't know what to do. This is the first time. Is this your first book? Your first time to write a book? Oh, wow, cool. And then it says the last day and night of Marilyn Monroe's life. Wow, cool. I don't know if that's like going to be biographical or if it's just a dramatization, and that, but it sounds like it could be a really good book. There are certainly legions of Marilyn Monroe fans even to this day, but I would love to hear about what inspired you to write that book. Where did that come from? So if you want to, like appear on a YouTube channel or something like that, perhaps that would be, if you know of anybody that does kind of interviews, like Heart and Soul Connected. She does interviews with people. I do interviews with people. I don't know if any of you guys have seen my Awakening Journey series, where every Thursday I put out, another person in my field, in the metaphysical field, talking about their journey of their life and how they came into their abilities and what they're doing with them now. But wow. Yeah, one of the people that I interviewed for Awakening Journey has just finished a book, and she's in the process of trying to find an agent, and then she has found an editor. She's trying to find an agent and then trying to get published. You can self-publish, Once you get it to that point, you can self-publish on Amazon. And then you can make your books available on Amazon to people, but you still have to kind of get the story out to let people know the book is there and make them want to buy it and want to read it. So if you have your own social media page, maybe you could do shorts on TikTok or shorts on Instagram, or just talk on Facebook Live, if you're depending on what social media you like the best and feel the most comfortable in. And but I think for the Marilyn Monroe age group, Facebook might be the best demographic based on the marketing stuff that I have read. But everybody of any age loves TikTok. So if you want to try to do TikTok, that's another a good resource or a good place to put it out there and let people know about your book. Oh, she says it's a true depiction of what happened. That's fascinating. I had a friend whose father worked for John Kennedy. Wow, nice. Yeah, that's definitely going to be a page turner for a lot of people. So I wish you all the best. If you don't already have an agent, it might be something to think about, how to get them. Hay House also has a program for budding writers, and you might look at the Hay House website. They actually also do writers clinics, but I think they help perhaps if you need to try to find an agent. They might be able to point you in the direction of somebody in that industry. Thanks, Karen. Wow, good luck. Okay, Michelle says, since I asked about my yellow lab Bo, I want to ask about my boxer Cooper. Passed shortly after Bo. It was devastating. I often dream about him a bit more than my wonder lab Bo. Okay. Do you have a specific question, Michelle, for Cooper? He comes in and he's just sort of like loping along, and then he stops and he looks around, and then he starts to run, and then he stops, and then he looks around again. Like, I don't know if he was easily startled, or if he was just super playful in that way, and that was his way of playing, but that's what he's doing. He's beautiful brown, russet brown color. So I don't know if that works. Super playful. Thank you, Michelle. So if you have a specific question, the question is he still with me, or is Nico with me? Yes, he is still with you. And he comes back. He's saying especially like around the time of year that he crossed over, he comes back to check in on you and to make sure you're okay. Apparently you have animals right now that he feels like have kind of picked up his torch, and they're keeping your mind occupied and keeping your heart active, if that makes sense. So that's good. Thank you, Michelle. Karen says, I'll look for an agent, whatever I can do to get her information out there. Yeah. It takes some doing sometimes. Okay. Christina says, I ask about the pups now for myself. I have decided I will be leaving the day-to-day job. Oh my gosh, to go full-time with your own business. Yay, awesome. Are you getting any sense on best timing for this? Fall or late spring of 2025? Your guides are coming through with definitely need to do springtime, because you're going to be building up to a busier time of maybe an opening in the fall, but getting everything in place laying the foundation. I'm actually seeing like 4 corners of like, your foundation, building your foundation so that you can then get all your systems in place and kind of tweak them over the course of the summer, suppliers and things of whatever you might need to do a bigger volume, because you are also this is something that you're going to also want to be doing TikToks about, videos about, postings about, promoting on social media. I see that as probably your best sales producing platform. And they're saying pick 3. And you can post the same things on all 3, but pick 3 and just be consistent. Get a CPA. I'm actually hearing CPA. So I hope that helps. And congratulations. That's really exciting. I know it's scary also, but it's still very exciting. Wow. Okay. Thank you, Christina. Interplanet Janet says, my mom passed away in April, and I've been taking care of her cat, Polly. Is she doing okay? She follows me around, and I have spending extra time with her. Let me see. Check on Polly. So as Polly comes in, she comes in as she felt a lot of loss around the loss of your mom, and she felt like that was her person, and she felt a little confused. But then she's showing me like your mom came in spirit to check on you and to check on the both of you. And of course, cats see spirit like that, just like they see people in the 3D, they see spirit. And so she now understands that your mom didn't just suddenly go away, that she's crossed over, and that she's still, her spirit is still around. So that makes Polly feel a whole lot better. Also, now she's not really bonded with you the same way she was with her mother. You guys have a different relationship, but she does appreciate the time and the extra time, and that you cared enough to help her transition into, new house, new relationship with you, and that you're taking care of her. There's a like an appreciation from her for that. She also is showing me that you allow her, when she doesn't want to be petted, to just kind of go off and do her own thing. Sit on the top of a chair or on a countertop, or go to the bedroom and hang out. And she appreciates that too. You let her have her personality. So thank you, Janet. That was really nice. Thank you, Polly. I hope that makes sense. Anita, when you saw all my pets, did you happen to see a pony? I had one. I was 3. I don't remember now. All of y'all are kind of like, each one is its own thing, and when it's gone, it's kind of gone. So hang on. Well, the pony that I'm seeing is like running off and running around, like way off in like some pasture somewhere back behind where the most of the rest of your posse of animals is hanging out. And it's like kicking and just jumping, playing and running. And I hope that makes sense, because this is like a little bit of an attitude-y pony. You probably don't remember a whole lot from when you were 3, but anyway, this is the personality of this pony that's coming in for you. So I hope that helps, Anita. Thank you. Janet says, yes, they spent so much time together, and my mom brushed her every night, and she would sit with her. I am trying with her. I'm glad my mom is here with us. Thank you. I'm giving her all the churros. That's so cool. Yeah. That's awesome. I know Mom and Polly appreciate that. Yes, Michelle says the reason I ask is because my current lab bear suddenly started barking in the kitchen. Looking up, but nothing was there. Really weird. Well, there was a spirit animal there, or an animal in spirit. Sorry, I got to learn to say that right. An animal in spirit was there. You know, the cats aren't the only ones who can see spirit. They just kind of seem to have this otherworldly knack for it. But dogs can also see. Any animal can see an animal in spirit because they understand the cycle of life, and they grieve like we do, but not in the same way and not for as long. They understand about going back home. They're here more or less, you know, for the most part to help us evolve. So yeah, they do see them. And that's probably what that was. Thanks, Michelle. Churro treats. I didn't know they made churro treats for cats. That's awesome. Darren Star says, thank you. You nailed Kay's diva demeanor. She's always around me. Cool. I'm glad. Michelle asks, do I have a human guide as well as an animal guide? Yes. You have a guide for your human existence and your time here in this human body. And you also have an animal guide to connect you with the natural world, the realms. You know, we have the earthly realm where all the animals and the humans live together, but within that, you know, we have the human realm and we have the realms of all the different kinds of animals. And there's like an oversoul for wild animals. They don't have like individual personalities like domesticated animals do. They have just sort of, they call it a deva, which is like the oversoul for their species. And that's how you can read about, when you read about animal totems and animal spirits, you understand, you know, the different properties and the different things that they bring. Like turkey brings that love of family and get-togethers and camaraderie and that kind of thing. And elephants are all about remembering how far you've come and focusing on your strengths and holding each other up. And you know, so the different animal devas project these traits and characteristics that they want to help us embody and integrate into our character to help us evolve. Even animals in nature who come knowing that they're going to be prey, they come for the purpose of the bigger picture and the soul's evolution so that we and our planet can evolve. So yeah, to long answer to a short question, yes, you do have a guide for your human existence, and you can call in more than one guide. Some people carry a team of guides around. I know you probably, some of you may be familiar with my friend Susan Lynn. You know, she has a cadre of guides that she taps into daily and who help her with everything from her own personal stuff to her business to political insights and things like that she does, and then the classes that she teaches as well. So there are guides for just about anything, and they're always ready and able and willing and have time, plenty of time to help us. So please feel free to call in reinforcements. But one nice way of connecting with your animal spirit as well as with your human spirit, and you've heard this before probably, but it's walking in nature and just taking in the wonder of, you know, our part in this world and how beautiful and complex and diverse this world is and all the animals in it, and that we're all part of the same big earthly realm tapestry. And it's just that sense of connectedness. You know, if you go with that intention to soak that in, it's like recharging a battery. It's like jump starting your car. It can jumpstart the battery of your psyche, of your soul, to do that. And you can do that also with the intention of connecting just with your animal guide, just with your animal spirit. It helps them recharge as much as it helps you recharge. So thank you. Thanks. Good question. Anita says she had an attitude. She would let me walk with her. Oh, whatever, sorry. She would let me walk with her under her belly. And if I didn't notice her fast enough, she would come and chew my hair. Oh, so I've been told. What a sweet pony. But I always like things with attitude. I've always been told I have an attitude, but I don't mind. I don't want to be a wallflower. Thanks, Anita. I love that about your pony. Is it a male or female guide? You know, guides, they can embody whatever they feel like we need, and they can sometimes be male and sometimes be female. So you can specify and tap into it, and they'll reveal themselves to you. You'll be able to get to know their personality, and you can do this not just by walking in nature, but you can also do it in meditation and sit quietly and just ask for any messages that your guide may have for you for today, and kind of leave it open-ended, and then just try to quiet your mind and see what you get. It may just be a word at first. It may just be a feeling at first. It takes a while of sticking with it, you know, to get a dialogue of communication going, but that's how you open the door. So thanks, Michelle. Janet says, when did you realize you could communicate with animals? So wonderful. I feel very connected with all animals. When I see animals that have been killed on the road, I always say a little prayer. Oh, thank goodness. I'm not the only one. I always bless them and thank them for coming here. You know, I thought I was the only one who prayed over roadkill. Bless you. Thank you for doing that. When did I realize? I always knew I had a thing for animals. You know, it was always animals were always drawn to me and me to them. I've never, you know, had an animal bite me that didn't have like an issue. I had one animal one time who had a brain tumor, and as it pressed against her certain part of her brain, it caused her to become aggressive, and she bit me one time, um, but not hard. Anyway, she, of course, the brain tumor took her in the end. It was one of the yellow labs, Nina. But when I first realized I could talk to animals was when I had this one dog named Lucky, and he was my heart dog. He was one of the dogs that one of my kids had brought home and we adopted, and then she moved out and she wanted to take Lucky with her, and he was only like, I don't know, 8 weeks old at the time. And I just said, look, if anything happens and you ever don't want this dog, I want dibs. 3 weeks later, she brought Lucky back. It was just too much to take care of and try to work a job and blah, 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 blah. And so I had Lucky from the time he was a puppy until he was 14. And that dog was an intuitive. He was like Kay, the cat was, you know, for Darren Star. He was like showing me my intuitive abilities. We did pet therapy together. We would go to nursing homes and visit with people. And he always knew, like when he walked in, he could read a room like nobody's business. And he knew if they wanted him to, you know, play and song and dance and, you know, do that little thing. I call it juking, where they're butt goes up and their front paws go down, and he'd go "Rrr, rrr," and off he'd run, and he'd do like zoomies around the room. And he was still doing this kind of thing when he was 8, 9 years old. But he would do that, or if there was somebody who was maybe non-communicative, non-responsive, just sitting in their chair and not participating in activities, he would very slowly and very quietly go over and just like put his head up under their hand and just sit there. And then almost always they would invariably like start to pet him, you know, and so he just knew what people needed. He could do the same thing in hospitals. Sometimes, depending on the situation in intensive care, we couldn't go into patient, so we would go and talk to the families in the intensive care waiting room, and he would do the same thing there. Like if somebody just needed to cry, you know, he would curl up right here on their shoulder while they cried and just gave them something to hold on to. And It was really something to see. He was quite the guy. And I had heard about animal communication in passing, while I was doing that work and just in my day to day, had heard about it, but I didn't really give it a whole lot of thought. And then he crossed over, and it was about, I don't know, a week or 10 days maybe after he passed away, that I saw on Facebook a live workshop on, what do your animals on the other side want to tell you? And I'm like, oh my God, sign me up. Because I just felt like he was gone too soon. I mean, I know 14 years is a long, good life, but I wasn't ready. It was really hard for me. I was taking it really hard. And so there were about, I don't know, over 100 people on this call at this workshop, and Danielle McKinnon was the one that was leading it. And she talks a lot about, what they want us to know, and, how we can, you know, tune in, just some of the same things that I'm suggesting to you guys tonight on how you can know that your animal really is there. If you feel that brush, where they normally used to come and ask to be petted, or if you feel them brush against your leg, or if you think you see them in the hallway, or if you hear that click, click, click of their toenails walking, in the other room, it really is them. It doesn't take them very long at all in spirit to be able to manipulate energy and to be able to come back through and check in on us. And they will do that just to let us know that they're still there in spirit and still ready to continue communicating with us. And during that time, during that workshop, she actually picked me out of all the people and she gave me a little mini reading, kind of like what I'm doing here with y'all. And she brought him through. She brought through, that his fur felt like rabbit fur, that he had this intuitive ability of knowing what people wanted from him. And, and he was always so happy. And then he loved to go on road trips, and that, he had to be sitting in a certain place in my lap, or if he wasn't comfortable, I couldn't like move him around. He had to be in a certain place. So anyway, I knew for sure it was him. And then at the end, she said she was teaching an introduction to animal communication. And that's when I said, oh my God, sign me up. I was already doing tarot card readings at the time, and I was a Reiki master at that time, and I was in crystal. I had become a certified crystal healer at that point. But I hadn't really thought about becoming an animal communicator until I lost Lucky and had that experience with that workshop. And I will tell you that the Danielle McKinnon School is hard. It was hard, but it was also fun, and it was also exciting. And the people, that were in my classes together, we practiced together in between our lessons, and we got to know each other. And now a lot of us who are professional animal communicators, it's a 2-year course to get through the soul level animal communication certification. And we're now all professionals, but we have a collective that helps raise money for nonprofits and rescues and other animal advocacy groups. We do Zooms where we do group readings, and 100% of the money that's raised goes to the charity. We don't take anything for it. But those are the kinds of things that have come from it for me. It's like once I had that experience with Danielle and I got through the first like class or two, I was like, this is it. I knew I had found my place. This is my path. This is my calling. I mean, I've always liked animals more than most people anyway. So it was easy. It was an easy decision to make to do this. So that was probably 6 years ago, 7 years ago when I started. So I've been doing this 6 years. So anyway, back right around 2017 is when I first learned that I could do animal communication. Again, long answer to a short question, but thank you for asking. Thanks, Janet. Michelle says she will try meditation. It's not as hard as it sounds. It's just a process of quieting your mind, and that's something I've never been good at, to be honest with you. So what I have found works for me is sound therapy. I have these things, and you can actually get an app for this. These are called Solu tubes, and they play. It's like a computer generated random series of chimes and bells and gongs, and you listen to the resonance of the different sounds. All you do is just focus on the wah, 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 bing, and after 3 minutes, they did testing on this. You can do 3 minutes with these things, and it's the equivalent of 30 minutes of sitting quietly. It works really well. And also my animals like it. I have one dog that gets tremors, and I've used this with him. And by the end of, sometimes we have to do 6 minutes for him, but by the end of 6 minutes, he's fine. The tremors are gone. I can't tell you how much I recommend sound frequency for meditation. It's really awesome. Sorry for your loss. Yes, thank you. He was an amazing dog. Let me just show you. Oh, truly. He's my screensaver, but I had a bunch of messages on my screensaver. But he is just incredible. He was what's called a Pomchi, part Pomeranian and part Chihuahua, long-haired Chihuahua. And that's him right there. He was already getting a little white around the muzzle. He was probably about 12 years old in that picture. Yeah, what a great guy. Awesome guy. Thank you. Wonderful. You and Lucky had each other. Yeah. I think that was his sole purpose, was to lead me to mine. And man, I can't tell you how grateful I am. Now, if I can just get over this fear of technology, and thank you all for hanging in with me while I learn all this technology. I really just want to help people get in touch with their animals and learn how to do this for themselves, or, I'm happy to do readings. I love doing readings. It's like the highlight of any day in the week, when I get to do a reading. But I just also want to be able to help people and feel empowered. And if it's something that you feel called to do, then I'd love to help you do it. Anyway, she said, yeah, acknowledge the animals you see on the road. Thank them and hope they're at peace. Yeah. Because the chances are they are, and like I said, animals plan their passing, and so that was just their way. Maybe they were sick, and it was better than lingering to have that happen. Sometimes even like pets who come into this body and end up being raised or in homes with abusive humans who don't treat them well, that is their choice, and they come into the body with the human with the soul contract, knowing that there is that potential that the human might not get their soul lesson, that might be off their evolutionary path, and that there could be a potential for violence or a potential for a bad end, and they come anyway in hopes that they can help the human evolve. And sometimes it takes dying at the hands of their human for the human to later on in retrospect get it. Sometimes they don't get it. Sometimes some humans come and they get so separated from their soul self. I call it shellacking over their connection to their soul, that they just miss the mark for this lifetime, and they get to come back and try again. But it's unfortunate. But the animals, because they have so much unconditional love, they've already mastered that. They're way ahead of us in that regard. They understand and they love us that much, and they come to try to help. So, but it also inspires, those of us who do love and care about animals to fight for animal advocacy, to fight for animal rights, to fight for animal cruelty laws, to really campaign for it and try to make a difference in that way. And so those animals don't live and die in vain, in my opinion. Anyway, thank you. Ooh. Thank you for sharing. Oh, you're welcome. Nina, who passed away, had a yellow lab, Winnie, who passed. Do either of them have any messages? Let's see. Nina is showing me a beach scene, walking down the shoreline of a beach scene. She's also showing me like being able to like take herself to visit. She must have dreamed, it feels like she dreamed of travel and that she always wanted to travel and see the world. And now in spirit, she can go and she can experience anything, anytime, anywhere, at any place in time that she wants. She can go and experience those different places that she wanted to see in this world. And there's so much freedom in that. And Winnie was not her only animal. Like, because I'm also seeing like a cottage kind of scene where and there are a lot of animals like hanging out with her in this place, in this space. So I hope that helps, Christina. Thank you for giving me that opportunity. Yeah, Lucky was a cutie. Thank you, Michelle. Bernadette. Hello, everyone. Any messages from my cats, Hope and Joy? Oh, what cool names. They're alive and well. Joy loves going outside. I wonder why. Let's see. Well, Joy comes in kind of like slinking, kind of crouched, and she's a bit of like when she wants to like play with something or get something, even if it's just a piece of paper crumpled up on the floor or something or a string, she pounces. So she's got like this prey drive, lioness kind of prey drive. And I get a feeling that she's like two-tone, like black and white, or two-tone, if that makes sense. Let's see, Hope. Hope I'm getting is kind of like a lot more laid back, kind of like out, laying on her side, just sort of chilling. Loves to be in the sun. I don't know if that makes sense, Bernadette, if you can provide any feedback for that. But they are super happy about their life. Their hearts. If you could picture a vase of flowers, you know, the flowers coming out of a vase, but instead of a flower, it's hearts. They're like giving you like a vase of hearts. So thank you for being such a good cat mom. And Janet says, "Aw." And then Christina has feedback on Nina. Laugh out loud. Of course she is. She loved the Oregon coast and traveling. No, she had a bunch of animals too. Ah, thank you, Christina. That's cool. I was closest to Winnie until your cat. Nina is an amazing soul. I appreciate you for the message. You are welcome. Thank you for the opportunity. Bernadette says, haha, yes, he does. He does that all the time. Oh, cool. Awesome. And then she also says, I treat them like my kids. So do I. We love them so much. Yeah. I have a day bed here in my office for those of y'all who can't see it. And the one on the pillow is Dasher. He's about 14 now. And then the one beside him is Bogey. That's my little boy. And who knows where his daughter is. She's solid black and she's running around here somewhere. Anyway, thank you guys. Thank you so much for coming to join me tonight. Again, if you think you'd like to explore the animal communication workshop or the 4-week class, I would love to have you join me. And meanwhile, what am I doing this week? This week, I am going to be on Civil Harmony's channel at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern time. It's either Friday or Saturday. I have to check my calendar and I'll tell you. I believe it's Friday. It's not in my calendar, so I'm going to have to go look at my book. But I'll post it and make sure that you have, something on my YouTube channel, and I'll also post it on my Facebook and Instagram to let you know for sure when it'll be. But I will be with her, and we'll also be doing animal readings that night too. So again, thank you. Oh, Bernadette says, cute. Both of my cats heal me so much. Man, they really do, don't they? When I talk to them, do they hear and understand? Absolutely. They do. They feel our energy. They navigate by energy 24/7. So you can actually think at them in visuals, and they will get what you're saying. They hear you, and they feel your tone, they feel your energy, and they feel your love. So good on you. And you're welcome for the messages. Okay. Oh, thank you for having the notifications and having subscribed. That's great. And maybe I'll see you with Sybil. Thank you all so much. I appreciate you. And I'll talk to you next time. Bye for now. Thanks, y'all.